Hello everybody, Ray Garner with Garner's Games, here to do my weekly comic review. Today, seeing a little Red Hulk. Issue 1 from Marvel Comics. This is written by Benjamin Percy and artist by Geoff. Now, this kind of is coming off of the spinoff from, I shouldn't say spinoff. This is being inspired by the fact we have Red Hulk in Captain America. Which, by the way, I highly recommend that movie. I really enjoyed it. So, we start off. I can hold on to the comic. Boeing 747 over the LOC. Timer goes off. And this is Thaddeus Ross on the plane. Picks up a toy for a kid, goes to the bathroom, and he talks about, collateral damage, planning out a deal. And he's in the bathroom of the plane as he starts turning himself into the Red Hulk. Of course, this creates a lot of turbulence as he rips the plane apart, diving down in Korea. Near, I'll probably pronounce this town wrong. It's Yongwon Nuclear Research Factory. And of course, he goes through the scenario. And the scenario starts dissipating with a green mist. As we see, it's him, unshaven, unkept, in a cell. And the person who's got him there is Dr. Doom. And of course, he's asking, how long have I been here? Why do you keep asking me these questions? Even spits on the little force field that's keeping him locked in. And then Doom uses magic to sling him around in the cell to basically try to put him back in his place. Now, Ross, points out that he basically nearly snapped that day. He's reflecting on everything that Doom's been doing with him, which is constant scenarios of him attacking and disabling or disrupting various things throughout the planet. Then he starts hearing Morse code being tapped on a wall. And it's Deathlock. It's kind of cool to see him make an appearance. Character of several friends of mine, very personal fan favorites of theirs. Then several other characters appear. Some I'm familiar with, some I'm not. All tapping in Morse code to each other, declaring that they're prisoners. And over time, they explain how each of them has been captured, why they were captured, and what Doom's doing with them. But this lets Ross know and allows him to figure out what's going on. And Doom has basically created himself a think tank to go through various scenarios and how to handle various situations based on each of these individuals' unique aspects and unique takes on the world. But once he has that information, they start working on a plan. And he cuts his hair, shaves his face, starts working out, and getting himself ready to basically take out the Doom bot that's serving them and, get themselves out of here. And the biggest part of that is Machine Man, who basically ends up taking off one of his arms to use the cable that's inside as a rope. And he goes and he gets Ross out. and they basically take out the Doombot. And by using the Doombot, he manages to turn off the neck inhibitor that he has on. And the book ends with a whole bunch of Doombots coming and Ross starting his transformation into the Red Hulk. And of course, we get our cover for the next issue: Deathlock, Red Hulk, and Machine Man. Obviously getting ready to fight, the Doombots to try to escape. And the title of the next story is The Great Escape. It's well put together. It's a fairly basic story, kind of straightforward. I'm sure it ties into the one world under Doom. Of course, he's using the magic, but he doesn't have the Sorcerer Supreme garb on. But we have a lot of Doombots, so maybe Doom has figured out a way to use a Doombot as an avatar for his magics, or maybe he's even figured out a way to integrate magic into one of his bots. Don't really know. Or the artist forgot that he's supposed to have a Sorcerer Supreme garb on and didn't draw him that way when it was actually Doom. It's pretty neat. Like I said, straightforward, and sometimes straightforward is the best way to handle it. We're dealing with a bunch of characters that are not heavily used in Marvel, unfortunately. Some of them are really cool. Deathlock, Machine Man. Characters I really like that are not utilized very often. So that's kind of neat. Doombots are often underused. So I like seeing a bunch of those go at it. And, of course, we're going to see the Red Hulk, tear things up. And I like the fact that we're not making Ross into a good guy. Ross is on Ross's side. And that's how he should be written. So, the art, all in all, is pretty good. I like the fact that we have, people look different. They're not, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not all drawn the same. I like it when you have facial structure that's different. The facial structure for the Korean soldiers are very different than Ross's facial construction. So I do like that about the art. There's a lot of detail given. So that's good. Some of the angles are a little bit more difficult to draw. Like this downward angle view on Deathlock. That's a hard angle to draw well, and it's done pretty well. The pacing of the story is really solid. That's probably the biggest compliment of the book. The pacing of the story, it moves along at a crisp pace, but not so fast that you don't get details of each individual characters, what's going on, and why all this is important, without telling you what they don't know yet. All we basically figure out here is that Doom has assembled a think tank. But we don't know why yet. We don't know what everything behind this is. So that's really good. So if you like Hulk stories, this is a better end Hulk story. Like I said, Ross's character is written well, and I highly recommend it. Check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. And keep your anger in check. See you next week.